our big stories now. Now, Ghana's gold reserves hit a historic high of 32.99 tons, making it the fifth highest in Africa. But how do we sustain the gains to provide the necessary buffer for Ghana's volatile economy? Are there any critical issues to the Bank of Ghana's hedging strategy, and what should be the best way forward? We are going to discuss these issues with Dr. Etiahene, who is a banking consultant. He has written a long piece on this from his experience and what can be done in this area. Doc, I'm grateful to you that you've been able to join us here. Now, you've laid the issues bare, and you are sending sort of a warning to the BOG to tread cautiously. Why must the BOG tread cautiously when we have abundant gold in this country? Hello, Dr. Richmond Etiahene. If you can unmute so we can hear what you're telling us, sir.
Good morning.
Great. I can hear you now, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on this critical issue in the Ghana's history. There are too many issues surrounding gold that needs to be looked at critically.
Okay.
And I have done the paper, a well-researched paper, 18,000 words, well-researched through, with the help of World Gold Council. I asked for the data and they provide. Ghana has been doing, I would say, very well in the gold sector. And that is the reason why in 2021, the then government said that they were going to have gold purchase, domestic purchase program. That was launched in June 2021. This is a very good and lovable idea that most countries in the world, especially the advanced countries, they have decided that they would rather build their reserves in gold, rather than keeping it in foreign currency. Because for every shock that comes with when the American cough, the whole world get cold. And if you look at it, anytime President Trump make a statement, especially with the trading partners, gold prices go up. Yesterday, after his speech at the UN, gold has shot up this morning to 3,777 per ounce, as against 3,700 yesterday. What is happening is that the world is actually looking for a safe haven where they can store their asset. And if you store your asset in gold, it doesn't depreciate. You always had a good value of it. It hedges against inflation. And also it's a very good commodity for saving. And at the same time, in certain jurisdictions, you use it as store of value and also can also use it in payment of your transaction. So most countries are doing that. So Ghana decided to do that in 2021 with a Ghana domestic gold purchase launched by Dr. Addison. And it has gone on from 8.7 tons, 8.78 tons to currently it's about 36. As at the time I did the work, it was 32.9 tons. But looking at it, if you look at the amount of gold that is taken out of this country, and you're only keeping 32, it is nothing to write home about.
Okay.
Countries that without gold, Algeria, currently had 183 tons. Egypt, even Libya, a war-torn country, has more gold. South Africa has 125. And we are walloping at 32.9. And with this insignificant amount, somebody wants to go and play games with it, the hedging. So I am advising them that we should be very careful. We have seen it before. We saw Ashanti in 1997 was basically wiped out by 2001. So anybody going to foreign derivatives must be very careful and understand, especially when your production or what you have is insignificant to the total world market. You don't go in when your you don't make any serious impact. You choose to build the reserves and build the reserves as the South African has been doing. South Africa has been doing it for the last 20 years. They've been building the reserves up to 125. You only have 32.9. And then you're talking about going to foreign derivatives. So I'm cautioning them that we should be very careful and learn from the experience of Ashanti in 1997.
So Doc, is it your argument that as we build, we shouldn't be selling to serve as a backbone to the economy, but we should just keep building the reserve?
Well, nobody is saying don't sell. After all, if you look at it, they've bought 183 tons since the inception of the gold program. And they have sold basically minus 32. We've sold over 100.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we're not selling. But what you're saying that we should be very careful that we don't go into areas where we have limited minds, limited experience. Because derivatives, the swaps, the forwards, the options, they are not business just for people, maybe people from outside of the world, especially when you don't make any impact on the market. That is why I'm saying, I'm not saying that don't sell, don't trade and build more reserves, but I'm saying that don't leave part of the business and go and do hedging. We should learn from Ashanti. If nobody, I think they were not born. I think those of us who are talking about hedging should go and read the literature about the collapse of Ashanti in 1997, in 2000, and 2001. Now, let me go to the substantive issues that worries me about gold. Currently, we have destroyed the environment. And you bear with me. We are destroying today's environment for today's consumption, future consumption for today's consumption. What I'm trying to say is that if you balance your book and get so much reserves at the expense of environment, you are not doing what we call the ESG, environmental governance and sustainable environment. You don't do that. No, South Africa hasn't done that. South Africa has been doing this business for a long time. They haven't destroyed their environment. And we have destroyed the environment by introducing carcinogenic material, cancerous material into our water bodies and into our food. Do we want to exterminate the whole population and balance their books? I'm not saying they shouldn't do gold, but I'm saying that you should always talk about ESG. The ESG is signed by the responsible mining. And if you look at the World Gold Council, it has published 51 principles on responsible mining. And Ghana is not doing responsible mining. Carcinogenic material getting into the water body. 3 days ago, I read something on the Ghana web that Kontombre has been infected with carcinogenic materials in certain parts of the world. What benefit has it got to do if you have the balances, the reserves, you have the currency strong, and you get up in the morning and the whole country is wiped out from the surface of the world? What would you say? Let us be more responsible. Let us be more proactive, because we have to leave this environment for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. They didn't mine gold to destroy the environment. Number two, there is something is setting up in Ghana at the moment, and most of you haven't checked. Ghana has lost its position on cocoa to third. Ecuador has overtaken us. Once upon a time, when Achampong was in leadership, Ghana was the top gold cocoa producer. We moved to Ivory Coast to overtook us. Today, Ecuador has taken us. Ecuador has taken us because instead of we looking at cocoa as a sustainable business, we are looking at gold. And gold is something you exhaust and get completed. But cocoa has survived us over the years. So the literature says that Ghana is doing what we call the Dutch diseases. Dutch diseases means is that you are shifting your productive sector to areas where it's going to give you a short-term benefit, but no long-term benefit.
Okay.
So we must be mindful. Cocoa has kept us for almost 100 years. Gold has just come in, and we are destroying, according to Cocoa Board own data, 20% of the land, cocoa land, has been destroyed. Therefore, that has resulted in the drop from our second position to a third position.
So is it your argument that because of our intention to hedge gold, and that's why we are looking on for this environmental destruction, devastation to go on?
It is not just about the hedging. I think we are building reserves, but you're not building reserves responsibly.
Okay.
Responsibly. Let me use the word unreservedly. We are not building the reserves responsibly because we have chosen to destroy the environment. We have chosen to destroy our water bodies. We are importing carcinogenic material into the water to promote future cancer. We can't behave like that. And I'm wondering why the World Health Organization and the UN bodies sitting in Ghana don't want to tell the government or tell the people in their face. You are destroying it, importing diseases, and you are balancing your books by destroying people. I don't support that. Again, we have shot to third position because cocoa lands have been destroyed by Galamsey. Why would we do that in our time? Why would we do this in our generation? Mm-hmm. The generation doesn't belong to anybody. Let me make it clear to those in power and those in power. Generation belongs to the future. Don't destroy the future by mining, irresponsible mining, and give it a name. They call it so many names. Artisan mining, small-scale mining. What is it? Ghana has mined gold since 18-something. They didn't destroy the environment. They didn't destroy cocoa farm.
But Doc, what if the authorities tell all of us that the gold they are using in building the reserves is what they are buying from the licensed small-scale miners or mining companies? Will your position change?
Whether you call it license or what you call it, that's why I say that. For me, artisanal mining in Ghana is not done properly, whether it's called artisanal or small-scale mining. They are not done properly. They are done on water bodies. They are done on cocoa farms. Why? Fishes are destroyed. Contemporary is getting poisoned. Anything is going to get poisoned. What would it benefit you if in the future you import all the cancers from where to this country? Let us be very responsible. Let us be very responsible and live better for generation. Ghana was not meant for just our generation. And I'm very passionate about it, Dan. Ghana is not meant for the current generation. It's meant for generations to come. If you build your reserves, if you hedge and hedge and hedge, and by the time we get up in the morning, about 1,000 people, we saw the COVID. We were very fortunate. We get up in the morning, about 20,000 people are dead. What would you do? Have you got the facilities? So my problem is simple. The paper is just simple. Telling people to be more responsible. It doesn't care. I don't care which government started it. I don't care who is doing it. My concern is that my mother left me a cocoa farm. And today cocoa farm has been destroyed. We don't have cocoa farm. We have pitches and mud in that place. Why? So for me, I take no excuse to anybody. I'm speaking to them, whoever is in charge, that you should listen to me. I think the World Bank and the IMF must begin to talk to this issue and stop coming to review Ghana's economy. The World Health Organization must take interest in what is going in Ghana because we don't have the resources to solve. Even the hospitals are not ready for even what this. It's not the status of the hospitals in Ghana. And when they are sick, they are flown over where? Go and get treatment. What sort of nation is this?
Okay.
I'm speaking to you politicians.
Well, one of the issues you raise in your write-up has to do with operational and technical risk, and risk, and you mentioned it, that hedging is a complex business. It is one that requires expertise, tight governance, and transparency. And you say that's a weakness that has stripped Ghana before by bringing in the Goldfields hedging debacle of the 1990s. But are you saying that we don't have that expertise since that time? We've not built that expertise, and we don't have anybody at the Bank of Ghana who can really lead us in the right path to take advantage of hedging? Because I'm not sure hedging has disadvantages.
Thank you very much. You know, hedging has never been a business in Ghana. So I don't think everybody talking about it is a theoretical person. They are not operationalized. They are not people hands-on. You can read a textbook, but if you haven't done it before, you don't seem to appreciate it. Bank of Ghana, for me, even the little that we have to manage about the finances of the economy, look at the non-performing. Look at the non-performing. We are not be able to do that. Why do you want to add something to it when we don't even make any impact on the international market? Number two, we don't have the expertise. When I say expertise, there is a difference between a textbook, like you call me Dr. Tuahine, and I'm just a textbook doctor, not a practitioner. That is, Ghanaians should get it clear. There's a difference between a textbook achieved professors and doctors and practitioners who sit at the dealing room, who sit at the gold dealing room in Dubai, in Singapore, in UK, in America, dealing. You don't understand. You go and read a textbook. You go for put, options, forward, swaps. What is involved, you don't even understand. So I am telling them that we should learn from the ages, the Ashanti experience, where we nearly lost everything. And government at times even had to go and settle something. All because somebody went into hedging without understanding. It's not a game for faint-hearted people. It's not a game for people who do not understand. It's a game for people who have been in the business and know the business and have done it. So that when you do it, you understand the ramification and the problem. Bank of Ghana, let me ask you this. Let me tell you. The same Bank of Ghana, when the 2022 DDEP, what happened to Bank of Ghana? It's now a bank without capital. And you won't sit building your capital. You won't sit looking at your referencing your capital. You're going to take another risk. After all, South Africa has been in it, and they do on hedge position. On hedge position is that continue to build your reserves responsibly. Don't go into the areas where you don't have the expertise. Don't go and hire the JPs to come and tell you this and that, as they did in the DDEP. They hire consultants to come and tell us, and the consultant did not understand the ramification on the society. So I'm saying, if you don't have expertise, don't go there. Stay within your boundary and do what you think you have competences, abilities, and skill. And stop areas where 36 tons. It doesn't, America has 8,300 tons. It doesn't even think of going to sell or hedge. It thinks that I want to build because it supports your currency. It builds you with all the geopolitics going in Iran, Iraq, and all those things, and Ukraine. Countries are buying. This morning, to shock you, China has decided to increase its acquisition of gold reserves because China looks at America. One day they get up and Trump says something, and now they said, look, take your dollar and let me take my gold. Take your dollar and let me take my gold. And the gold would always remain gold, irrespective of what is it. Provided even your buying of the gold and keeping reserve, provided you understand what can happen. Because when you get up tomorrow morning and gold has dropped from $3,700 to $1,000, what would you do? It wipe off all that you have positives. It wipes it off. Yeah. This is sport business. I'm not talking about forward. If you get up tomorrow morning and gold has dropped as low as $1,200. The gold that you're sitting on is gold for storage, not gold for trading. So I would advise them that, having learned from the DDEP and the suffering of the central bank, anybody who wants to take any action must really understand the ramification, the implications, the challenges that it brings to the country. Now we have to look for capital to Bank of Ghana. How can you run the central bank and run it down? And now you want somebody to fund you. The same thing will go and take another risk, and you get it pulled down, and all that will tell you go out. We cannot go on the way we are going.
And from the explanation you've given, And looking at the graphs to be showing on the screen there, the reserves that America has, what IMF even has, China, Germany, or what have you. If we have 36 tons and we'll still keep building and selling, what strategy can we really adopt for us to even cross 100 ton in our reserve if we keep selling?
Thank you very much. I would urge them that let us do a responsible mining. One thing that I'll take my heart off for the current government is that when he came, I've done a lot of paper on gold. When he came in, he said, let me go to the 9 licensed big companies. I'm going to pay you CDs and buy your gold, 20% of your gold at a discount price, a certain discount price. You give them the CD, you get your gold and keep your gold. So you build your reserves. So when you think that the market is going on very well, you just release some into the market and make good money out of it, good foreign currency out of it. But don't begin to think about that. I have 36, so I'm thinking of going swaps, futures, options, and what have you. I mean, I say, let me repeat, it's not a place for faint-hearted. It is for a place who have had the depth knowledge, the understanding of the gold market. People don't even know that we have gold bullion market in UK. People don't know that there's a bullion market for gold in Singapore and in UK and in America. And then you store your gold and you store it and make sure that when you have enough, you dispose it and buy. That is exactly what they did. When they bought 183 tons, they have sold about 100 and over, and they keep 36. Why didn't they keep them all? So continue to produce more, ESG production, and then get your reserve so that when you have the reserve sitting in your gold, you can decide to go, let me go and sell 50, 100. So that your balances, your foreign currency balances will be strong.
Are we in a position to say that, for example, if our gold has not reached, say, 150 ton, we wouldn't sell some? Because I'm looking at what we have compared to what I see on the screen for other countries, and I'm like, we are nowhere. We are nothing, as you said in the beginning. So can we, or are we in a position to say, until we get to a 150 ton in our reserves, we won't even sell 30% of it? Can we do that?
That is a laudable idea. That's a very good idea, very good suggestion. You set yourself a level and build the reserves. And if you should get above that level, you possibly go into the spot market, sell the difference, and put it in your foreign currency account. So to me, I'm not saying they shouldn't sell. My only concern is that we shouldn't be doing illegal mining and call it something else. We shouldn't be doing some mining, they call it artisanal and call it something. Let us do responsible mining to improve the position from 30-something to, say, the Algeria, I think Algeria 173 or 183. Yeah. So that when you have anything, Algeria doesn't produce gold, do they? Libya don't produce gold. South Africa is on the 4th, 125. And between ourselves and South Africa, it's about 125 and 36. The difference is nearly 100. Yeah. You haven't done that. And then you want to go. Build a responsible reserves. You should have a framework. Let me put it this way. They should have a framework. And the framework will set out how much we want to reach before we even think of disposing some. If you don't have a framework and you just swayed by the market, thinking that I have this, I can go, I can do this. By the time you realize you absolutely have nothing.
Okay. I hope that they are listening and that they will do as you say. But from what you do know, without gold from small-scale mining, can we really depend on these large-scale companies, 20% that we do buy from them, as you say, to build our reserves? Can it be possible?
Let me shock you with the research I did between 2010 and 2014. Do you know that all these foreign mining companies in this country, we are the only countries where we don't even get more than 25%. The whole world. The whole world. We are getting average 15%. I think that is why this government said, let me use another back way door. to get them to give me 20%. And the 20% will move us from 35%. The reason is that we haven't signed very good contracts. And I'm going to give you an example in Botswana about diamond. I have said it and said it and said it. Once upon a time, I think the 2021, DBS, Anglo DBS, which is the source of diamond in Botswana, was doing only 20%. They were taking 80%. Ghana, until recent, they were taking 85%. You can check from Bank of Ghana report. 15% is only that we have. And so when this government came, he said, let me do another back way so that you can get at least, now if you look at what they are doing, 20%, if you add it, we're getting 35. But ideally, that is not the way to go. That is not the way to go. We should bring all the miners together, the corporate miners, the large miners, and see them, hey, Joe, Botswana tried it from 20. Today, Botswana is earning 40% of all diamonds, starting from 20. By the year 2025, they are earning 40%. They called Anglo and told the Anglo-American DBS. He said, hey, if you don't want to go, pack and go. Originally, they said they wanted to go. After with 6 months later, they came back, oh, we will do it too. Because you see, when there's gold on the gold in the ground, it doesn't add food to our place table. It doesn't add up. You see, they need the gold to do what they want to do. Diamond did it. Botswana did it. They have achieved it. So let our leaders, I have said it, and I think the former Chief Justice, Lord, the ladyship, Mrs.
Sophia Akufo.
He has said the same thing I've been saying. And I always want tribute to her. He said that why can't we go to Botswana and begin to negotiate? Today, our brother sitting at the top, our good brother, that is my good friend, Ibrahim Tuari. Go and see how much gold. After kicking those people who came in, now last year he made $18 billion worth of gold. Now see the development, my brother in Burkina Faso, you have a chance, go there and see. They are constructing roads, they are building houses, they are doing irrigation, and we sit here, and somebody come and sit here. He mines your gold 100%. He said, I have signed a contract you signed a contract in Gordonsburg Tank. He said 15%. Can't you sit down and negotiate? Our leaders, I am charging you. Go and learn from Botswana. From 20%, today they are talking about 40%. You can't sit here and keep your mouth shut and say that we are looking for foreign direct investment. They are ripping us off. They are ripping us off, both the environment and both the resources. So let them go and do the right thing and learn from other areas. Learn what some people have done. Why can't we do it?
Okay. Let's see. I believe that those who are at the helm of affairs will be listening and will take a cue from this. Dr. Richard Onechai, and I'm grateful to you for joining.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
What hurts me about this gold is that this Dutch disease has crept into Ghana. People are not going to productive sectors like the agric again. Cocoa has dropped from third position to second position to third position because we are giving all our resources to gold instead of looking at cocoa, palm nut, what do you see? Cashew nut, rubber. Instead of we doing it, we're taking our eyes on it. Nigerians did it. Let me tell Ghanaians. In 1970s, when the oil boom came, Nigerians took off their eye. And what did you know what they realized? They were importing gari. They were importing a gari from Ghana. Meanwhile, they used to produce eba. They were importing rice. You shift your eye on the strategic side of the economy and look out for easy way out. And when you get it, what do? By the time you've got the gold 20%, 40%, there is no cocoa farms. And then you see the ramification of the Dutch diseases that I've been talking about. If they don't do that and they continue to look at gold and gold and gold and gold, the Dutch diseases will set in. And the Dutch diseases came from Netherlands. When they find North Sea oil, they decided to leave everything and went for gold. By the time they realized, their infrastructure, their economy was down. That is the same way we are going. Let us look at the Dutch disease implication on the Ghanaians' economy now and future, so that we can reposition the country for future, for the children unborn, and yet to be born, so that they will come enjoy the fruit of our fathers. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Dr. Richmond Etuahene is a banking consultant. You heard us speak to him there. Well, let's the discussion continue wherever you will be. Thanks for joining us. There's more to come your way here on the show. But there are those of you in Takwa who are watching us now. Good morning to you and to other policemen who are watching us at the Takwa police station. We are grateful to you. Moses Enimel, you are with the MTTD in Takwa. Thanks for doing the viewing. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay.